Greetings, everyone. Welcome to FIT5057 Project Management. My name is Kim, one of the tutors, and I will be the host of this video. And hi there, Anne. Thank you for agreeing to take part in this interview. The purpose of this session is to hear about your experiences in studying this unit, this project management unit. There are basically 5 questions, and your responses will provide some good insights for new students enrolled in this unit. Okay, so if you're ready, let's start with question 1. What was the workload like for this unit, Anne?
It was a pretty heavy workload for this unit, not so much in terms of class time, but in terms of working outside of class. There was a lot of research for assignment 1, some research for assignment 3, and then there was a lot of teamwork time. We spent a lot of time in our team meetings. So the workload itself was quite heavy, but outside of that time, it wasn't that heavy. There was no exam or anything to prepare for, which was nice.
So anything about the makeup of the unit, the lectures, the tutes, the consults, and things like that? Was there any insights out of that arrangement?
Yeah. So we had a 2-hour lecture every week, and then a tutorial that generally covered the same material that was in the lecture, either the week before or the current week. And the tutorial was a really handy summary of most of the lecture material, the most important of the lecture material, plus a lot of hints on the assignments. So the tutorials were really beneficial, and the lectures were interesting as well.
Now, we also ran some what we call weekly check-ins or consults. How did you find them?
We really enjoyed them. We tried to go prepared, so we'd have our team meeting and then have any questions that we had for the consults, and we'd ask them. It was also a nice chance to check in with the rest of the team an extra time per week, and we often actually followed afterwards with a team meeting.
Okay. So in terms of commitment of time, was it a bit of an extra burden, or how did you handle all of that?
I think for us, we worked together really cohesively as a team. We tried to do all the major parts of the team assignment together. So there was a very heavy investment in the time for us for the team sections of the unit. For the individual sections, it probably wasn't a lot more than other units, except that I was learning new skills. So I was investing time in learning those new skills as well.
And what were these new skills, Anne?
Mostly research. I'd never done a lot of research before. I hadn't done an honours project in my undergrad degree, so I'd never done any formal research before. So I was learning skills like referencing and how to write proper papers and things like that. So there was a lot of investment in time, and just finding the references that we needed and reading the papers took a lot of time and effort.
Okay. Second question, Anne. We introduced the concept of a workbook. Would you like to tell us your experiences with the workbooks?
So the workbooks were a bit of a summary of the lecture material and of the key, sometimes the key terminology in the lecture material, some of the key concepts, particularly for budgeting and scope and workflow. And they related to the lecture material and also the assignments. So we worked on them together. We tried to do every workbook together as a team, and we found that really helped us work together as a team. By the time that we came to doing the team assignment, we had a really good way of working in our team because we built that in doing the workbooks.
Okay.
And it also helped, doing the workbooks also helped understand the background for the assignment, the background for the project for the assignment.
So what would your recommendation to new students taking this unit when they come across the workbooks?
Put the effort into the workbooks because they actually helped boost our grade as well.
Third question is really about the assignments. There are 3 assignments in the unit, 2 of them individual, and one of them was a team assignment or group assignment. So any interesting tips and suggestions for how students might handle the assignments?
Well, as I said, I found the first assignment really hard. It took me a while to understand what the assignment was asking. It took me 3 or 4 days of just rereading the assignment, trying to understand what was involved. And eventually I went to the COP meeting, and then after that I understood what was involved in the assignment. And just the fact that I hadn't done research before, I didn't know where to find papers, I wasn't sure how to relate everything together. So it took me a long time to understand how that first assignment worked. For my individual workload, I spent a long time on that first assignment trying to understand how to write it. It did have a crossover. I was doing research methods unit as well. So there was a crossover with the first assignment for that unit and the first assignment for this unit. So I could actually learn those skills at the same time and put them into use for both units at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Anne. And for the benefit of the audience, a COP meeting is a community of practice meeting. It was a meeting arranged by the teaching panel. Basically, it's an informal drop-in for students if they have any questions about the unit, assignments, and so on. In terms of the relevance of the topics in the unit, can you share any information on that at all? Relate? Were they coherent? Did they have any relevance to, say, your work experience or your past experiences? How do they link in with the rest of the units in the courses? Do you have any insight on that?
Well, I think on any project you work on, whether you're managing it or not, it's always important to understand your stakeholders, because you need to understand what they need of you. Also, there was some crossover between, as I said, the research methods unit in this unit, and also software development or software engineering in this unit, because we were learning about waterfall and agile methodologies in both units. So you could see the relationship between the units like that. From my own personal work experience, it's just important to understand your stakeholders. It doesn't matter whether you're the developer or the project manager or the requirements gatherer, you need to understand what they want.
And the last question, Anne, was just really any study tips for students taking this unit?
Okay. So as a team, we started, I think it was in week 2, and we had our team meeting every week at the same time every week. And sometimes it went for 5 minutes, sometimes it went for 3 hours. But we made sure that we had that meeting every week to check in with each other because we were online, but also just to go through the workbooks. So we handed in the workbooks early most weeks. And we also were working on the assignment in those meetings as well. We often also had an extra meeting after the check-ins quite often, especially when the assignment was coming up. And we really used our study break to the mid-semester break to really focus on the assignment. We had a meeting every day, and we focused on a section of the assignment every day so that we could work together in a team, and then we would work on the written sections alone, and then we'd come back the next day, recap what we'd done, and work together as a team on the next bit that needed to be done as a group, which meant that we all always knew what we were working on, and we all had a lot of input into the assignment. And also, there was a really useful tool that we used that I also used in the software engineering unit, and it was Trello. It was really helpful for planning assignments.
In terms of communications, because of the lockdown, of course, none of us were on campus, and face-to-face meeting was pretty much non-existent. Okay, so how did your team cope with that?
Well, we had 4 team members in 3 different countries in 4 different cities, so and 2 different time zones. And we also had the other thing where I'm a morning person and all the others were evening people. So quite often I'd be signing on at 5 o'clock in the morning and they'd still be up working from the night before. But because we had our specific agreed meeting time every week, we all showed up for that. So we all knew when we were meeting, and we all encouraged each other to contribute to the meeting. And we didn't really have a project manager as such. We all really worked together, and we just made sure that we were all on the same page. We all understood what we were doing, and we had no conflict. We had a lot of healthy discussion, and we certainly had exchanges of ideas, and we probably all changed our minds over one point or another, but we never had any actual conflict. So I really enjoyed working together as a team for this unit.
Well, that's very, very good good insights there. Okay, and look, we're going to wrap up here. So it wasn't meant to be a long interview. So just any final closing comments, any overall summation, conclusion about the unit?
Yeah, just don't leave everything till the last minute. I know plenty of people who left their assignments to the last minute and they were very, very stressed. So don't leave it to the last minute.
Okay. All right, Anne. So thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure our new students would get some benefits from your insights.